As we work now on the Surface Transportation Reauthorization Bill, I always go back and think that oftentimes people refer to this as the highway bill, sometimes the highway and transit bill, but it's important to recognize that in the FAST Act, we clearly made it highway, transit, and rail. And so I think it's important that, and very fitting that the Rail Subcommittee is included in this hearing. And I expect that this reauthorization that we're working on right now will not only include Amtrak reauthorization and other passenger rail provisions, but also a robust investment in freight rail infrastructure. I'm a strong proponent of this investment because it will make freight movement faster and more efficient. And this investment would have far-reaching positive impacts by increasing jobs, many of them good-paying union jobs, making businesses more competitive, and decreasing greenhouse gas emissions. I represent part of Chicagoland, which is the freight rail hub of North America. 6 Class I railroads intersect in the region. About 25% of all freight trains and 50% of intermodal trains in the nation pass through. The congestion in this region and its impact on freight movement in our country is well known. In addition, Will County, just south of Chicago and partially included in my district, is the largest inland port in North America, with major intermodal facilities which cause significant congestion and safety issues on Interstate 80 and surrounding roads. This year, the state of Illinois committed to raising the revenue needed to invest in a nationally critical I-80 corridor. It's time for the federal government to step up on this project and others like it across the country, and this reauthorization is the time to do it. As Ms. Ailman mentions in her testimony, the Create Rail Modernization Program in Chicagoland, which has been ongoing for about 15 years, is a unique $4.6 billion public-private partnership designed to address the freight and passenger rail congestion and to ease congestion on roads crossing rail lines. Through the years, Create has been funded through federal, state, local, and private sources. I've long been a champion of this program since I was able to earmark money to it as one of the 25 projects of national and regional significance in safety lieu. This is how mega projects were funded in safety lieu, and I have no problem talking about earmarks. The FAST Act fund for mega projects comes through Infrastructure for Rebuilding America, or INFRA grants, which are specifically for freight movement projects. INFRA grants have a $500 million aggregate cap for port, rail, and intermodal projects. This was a hard-fought compromise, as the original proposal would have excluded multimodal projects altogether. This would have been a major mistake because these projects clearly are critical in improving the movement of freight in our country. In this upcoming reauthorization, the aggregate cap needs to be eliminated or greatly raised. We also need to talk about the structure of the program through which the money for mega projects is going to be dispersed. I do not believe we should continue to hand over the money to do this to any presidential administration, not just this one. But I don't think we should be handing it over for these decisions to be made over there. One thing I hope we can all agree upon, though, is that we need a robust level of funding for mega projects which are critical to freight movement in our country, and other projects critical to transportation in the country that really cannot be addressed by the states alone. Climate change is one of the most pressing challenges facing us today, and there's an urgent need for bipartisan solutions. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency reports that the transportation sector is the largest emitter by sector of greenhouse gases, with 29% of the United States greenhouse gases in 2017 emitted by the transportation sector. One topic that I'd like to hear about from our witnesses today is how we can mitigate the impact of freight movement on climate change. Finally, we need to permanently authorize the 45G tax credit to give the short-line rail industry the investment certainty they need. This tax credit has been expired since the end of 2017, and it's time we take care of this issue once and for all. I look forward to hearing from our witnesses today on how we can make the U.S. freight network more robust, multimodal, and climate friendly. Thank you.